Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mind the Mental Monday. I am excited for this Mind the Mental Monday tonight. And I want to thank each of you who are able to join tonight. And if you're not able to join live, as you know, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can get all the Mind the Mental Mondays from my YouTube channel. So I hope that you have subscribed already. If you have not subscribed, I implore you to please do so. Go over to YouTube, look for Benita Weathers. Um, it's Weathers 329, but I don't even think you need the 329 part. I think, it'll just put in my name, it'll come up. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to get a little more active on my YouTube channel as well. And so I hope that you all have already subscribed. Even if you even if you only watch on Facebook or Instagram, I'm asking you to still go to the YouTube channel and subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out. All right. It just helps me to be able to kind of spread the message more on, on different platforms. So, how are you doing tonight? How is everyone doing tonight? Let me know. Um, Engage with me, put in the chat how you're doing on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being I'm doing terrible and 10 being I'm doing great. How are you tonight? Let's do our check-in. And again, this is something that you should be doing with yourself on a regular basis, checking in with yourself and making sure that, you know, making sure that you're okay, making sure that you're being honest with yourself, making sure that you're facing any challenges that you might be having head on, um, and acknowledging when you need to um, establish and stick to your boundaries. So everybody knows, we're in the midst of the holiday season, and the holiday season, the winter holiday season, is interesting because on the one hand, it's a time where a lot of people are festive and happy and looking forward to all of the great things that can come about in this season, looking at all the beautiful lights and looking forward to time with family and friends, looking forward to exchanging gifts and spending time with one another. Yeah, so it's on the one hand, it can be a really great time of year. On the other hand, it can also be very sad because people are missing loved ones. All the, people miss loved ones all year, but sometimes around the holiday seasons, those that grief comes back even stronger because because many times maybe growing up, those were the people that we were around during the holiday season, and those were the ones that we were looking forward to getting together with and having just having a good time. And if they're not here anymore, the holiday season might make you think of them even all the more. So it's almost a sort of a double-edged sword. And so it's also a time of year, as I mentioned before, where in certain parts of the country in particular, it gets dark earlier. Those parts where we practice daylight savings time goes away in the fall and we fall back and it gets dark and we wake up, it's dark, and then gets dark early. And it's a season where we can be emotionally just sad just because of the the darkness and the cloudiness that tends to occur around this time of year. So, there's a lot of reasons why it's even more important to mind the mental this time of year. But another aspect of the holiday season, and particularly if you're a Christian and you celebrate Christmas, another aspect of this time of year that really impacts our mental health are our finances and sort of what we spend, how much we have to spend on gifts for the ones that we love. And just even for myself, there are times where I feel like, man, if I wish I had, more funds to spend, the people that I love, the people who are there with me and for me, many of them who have been with me and for me my entire life. And then those who came on board later in life who have been my ride or dies. Like I always want to do something extra special for them. And there are, many times where what my heart desires to do, quite frankly, just don't match my pocketbook. All right, we just gonna put it out there. And it can be, it can really mess with you mentally when it seems like everybody else is able to, give and give abundantly, and you feel like you're not. It can do a doozy on your psyche because it can make you feel like it can make you feel less than. It can make you feel like you are not worthy, especially if you're one where others are sort of lavishing things on you, and then you feel like financially you can't really return that. You can't lavish things on them as well. But tonight I want to talk about presence over presence, because a lot of times I think that we go overboard spending a lot of money that we don't have, because let's face it, this is a time of year where people's credit cards get run up, because they're trying to they're trying to buy people. They're trying to buy somebody's love. They're trying to buy someone's affection. They think, well, if I spend a whole lot of money and get somebody an expensive gift, then they're going to love me more. They're going to respect me. They're going to want to spend more time with me. And that's not necessarily the case, right? And so when we put out so much, in terms of our finances, and especially if we put out a lot in finances for somebody and we don't get anything from them, we feel a kind of way, right? Um, Not even taking into consideration how that person might feel, because they may very well be well intended and want to do something, but they can't. And they're actually being smart to not spend money that they don't have, trying to do in order to please somebody for whatever reason they're trying to please somebody else. And so I want us to look at um, having presence, like being present with um, those that we love, and being really present versus just uh, buying people a lot of gifts and then, not really being present with them in the moment or in the moments that they need it the most. So I want to kind of break down this term presence and get just a deeper understanding of what it really means to be present. Because I think sometimes we feel like being present means that you are just in the room with someone. But that's not really being present. I mean, we're present in lots of rooms with lots of people that we aren't really present with, right? We're not really engaged. We're not focused on what they're saying. We're they're speaking to us, but we're on our phones or we're distracted by something else. And we're so that's not really being present. So I want us to look tonight at presence and what that really means, what that really encompasses. And I'm hoping to encourage us as a community to focus our attentions more on being present with our loved ones versus going broke, trying to prove that we're maybe something that we're not. All right. So let's look at this word. Let's look at presence. So presence is the state or quality of being physically, mentally, or emotionally in a specific place or moment. It can denote not just the fact of being there, as I just mentioned, but the level of engagement or awareness one brings to the environment or situation. So it's less about just being in the room, than it is about being actually engaging, having a level of engagement with whomever you're in the room with, and also being aware of that person, being aware of their presence, being aware or and even empathizing with some things that they might be going through, noticing, taking note of their body language and what their body language is communicating. Someone's body language might be communicating, I'm in pain right now. Somebody's body language, because they might be grimacing, right? Somebody's body language might communicate that they're not really feeling it. They're down. You know, their eyes might be downcast. They might be sort of appearing to be all over the place. So there's a lot that one's body language communicates in a situation. And when you're present, when you're truly present with someone, you recognize all of that. You see it and you can feel it. And so you can then uh, communicate with them that you know and you see by their body language that there's something not quite right, and that you care enough that you want to go a little further and dig a little deeper and say, listen, I'm here for you. You know, if you're willing to share what's going on with you, and even if you're not, I'm here. I'm present. I'm a listening ear. I'm ready to hear it if you want to share it. If you don't want to share it, if you want to just sit here in the quiet, that's okay too. That is being present with someone. And so there are a couple of components to being present. There is physical presence, which is the act of being physically located in a particular space. But then there's mental and emotional presence, and that's the level of presence that I want to talk about tonight. And let me just say the reason that I came up with this topic is that I was having a conversation with someone who was just, mentioning that, they bought a person a very nice, a very expensive gift, and that person wasn't very pressed, just wasn't, very, very pressed about these material things. And in my mind, what I thought was, that the person uh, would probably have more of a desire for you to be present with them as opposed to just kind of giving them expensive gifts. Um, and so the mental and emotional presence connotes actively engaging in being fully attentive to what is happening, rather than being distracted or disconnected. And I think in our culture and in our society, we are very disconnected. We are we're disconnected from the people in our households. We're disconnected from the people that we call our friends. We are constantly on social media, and social media is causing us to actually become less social. Um, when I was growing up, I grew up in a generation where you had a front porch, and you and like all your neighbors would be out on the front porch or out in the community, and you would engage with each other. You would have conversations with each other. You might not be in each other's business, but there was a sense of community. And there can be a sense of community on social media, because now, the nice thing about social media is that you can actually build community not only with people right in your immediate vicinity, but you can build community with people literally all over the globe. But the drawback to it is that there is not that real connection that we once had with one another. There's not that same level of just being connected and focused when we're having conversations with each other, when we're communicating, and when we're present with each other in person. There's just there's a somewhat of a disconnectedness. And when we are present now with each other, I mean, I recall a lot of times when I'm out with my family, for example, like my husband and my adult children. What I notice sometimes is that we could be out at a restaurant having dinner, and everybody, usually except me, because I'm usually, not on my phone because I want to kind of connect with them, but everybody else is kind of on their phone. And so, I try to kind of say, come on, guys, let's put the phones away and let's just talk, to each other. Let's connect with each other. And sometimes I win that battle, and sometimes I don't. And so sometimes I admittedly will just get the attitude of, well, if you can't beat them, join them, and I'll just pull out my phone. But we are distracted, and we are spending more time like scrolling. And as we're scrolling, we are becoming more, we're comparing ourselves to other people more. And then we are down on ourselves more because we think that everybody else is living this glamorous life, um, and having all the things, and being able to give people lavish gifts and things, and then we feel down and bad about ourselves when we're not able to do the same thing. But what we need to realize is that most of the people who are in our lives who truly are our tribe, I mean, the ones that truly love us, are not going to get upset if we have boundaries around how much we're willing to spend on a gift. They're not going to get upset with us if we say to them, and if we're honest with them and say, listen, I don't have it. I don't have this year. I was talking to somebody earlier who was just like, listen, like I don't have it this year, and I'm not going to pretend that I have it, and people are going to have to understand. And yes, yeah, people are going to have to understand. And those who are really your tribe, those who are really in your circle, those who really love and care about you are going to say that it's fine. I'd rather have your presence than your present. Y'all, I hope everyone is hearing me tonight, because I really want to free somebody tonight, because I believe that there are going to be people who are going to watch this and really feel and feel me, and when they're, that are sitting there with anxiety and heart palpitations and all kinds of um, anguish about what they won't be able to do for their loved ones this holiday season. And the truth of the matter is, at least from a Christian perspective, this holiday season is about one who came to be present with us. It was not his presence was our present. His presence, the life that he gave, um, the fact that he got up, you know, it what is our present. That his presence is our present. The presence of Christ, God in flesh, is our present. And that is the message, of the season. And so he didn't come for us to be um to be trepidatious, to feel this torment in our minds of about how much we don't have and what we can't spend and what we can't do for the people that we love. Because if the truth be told, the present that we give to those that we love should not just occur one time a year. It shouldn't even occur two times a year at Christmas and birthday. When you're present with someone and when your presence is with someone, that happens all year long. That happens when you are in the room with one another and both of you put your phones down and you look at each other in the eye and you care about what is happening in the life of that person. You care about what is going on in their psyche. You care about their physical health. You care and you want to be present for them. That is the real gift. That is the gift. And so, a lot of times, I think that people who have an abundance financially, kids who live in households where, they have wealthy parents who give them a whole lot of stuff, but don't really spend time with them. They spend more time with the nanny than with their parent. They spend more time with, and I'm not trying to um, come down on people who have the means to do those things, but those things cannot be a replacement for you. Those things cannot be a replacement for your being in present in the moment with them when they need it. As a mother of three children, when my children were young, each of them, each of them needed me for one reason or another. And it's hard to try to be present with three at one time, right? And so I had a signal that I gave to them. It was called mommy time. And there were times where each of them might need me one on one. Like they didn't need me with all of them together, spending time with all of them together. There were times where they needed me to be present with me just one on one. And I had to explain to the others, like, listen, okay, this is what this setup is going to be. When you need mommy time, I just need you to say that's what you need. And each of you has to understand when the other needs mommy time. And they did. And so, they was if I was in the room with one of them and the other two came in, they'd say, "Oh, wait, you need mommy time?" And that person would say yes, and the other two would leave and go on about their business, and I would get that one-on-one. And so that meant more to them. That helped those times, those moments were more meaningful to them now as adults in particular than all the things that we could have provided for them. And they're thankful that we were able to provide for them all year long. And we are grateful as well. But that those times that we made time as a family to get together, to go places, to do things, to just sit and play games or just be with one another, those were the times that were the most memorable, creating memories. And you can't necessarily create memories just by throwing things at people. Sometimes people just need us, just like we need others, right? Sometimes it's not so much the gift, but it's more your being present and me feeling that you're present, feeling that you're actually listening to me, feeling that you actually care what is happening to me, you care what I'm going through, you care deeply enough about me that you're going to take some time out of your busy schedule and notice when I need your presence over your presence. So I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. And please comment. Please let me know if any of what I'm saying is resonating with you, because I just feel like it's important that we don't just mentally tap out because of our finances. If we don't have it, we don't have it. And we don't have to prove for those who we truly love and who truly love us, we don't have anything to prove to them. They should really understand. And for those that don't understand or who get an attitude, that's your attitude. And it's the same thing, it doesn't only involve gift giving, but as I said in a previous episode, it also involves those times where maybe we don't feel like hanging in with the family traditions that we've been doing over the last 20 years. Maybe this year for that's not working for us. Maybe this year we just need to have those boundaries. We need to just say to our family members, listen, I'm not going to be doing the family get together this year. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with my love for you or lack of love. Doesn't have anything to do with you at all. It has more to do with me and where I am. And for my mental health, I need a timeout this year. I need to check out this year. And I love you, but that's where I am, right? And be okay with that. Don't let anybody sort of guilt you into, oh, but why aren't you doing these things that we've been doing the last 20 years in our family and you're not participating this year? And how that makes other people feel. I'm sorry about how that makes you feel. But in order for my cup to be full enough to overflow in daily life and with those that I love, I need to take this time for me this year. Doesn't mean you're going to do that every year. But in order for me to really be present with you, I need to be present with me. And and that's okay. So I want to free some people tonight. Stop spending a whole lot of money that you don't have. I have gotten to a place where it's like I have a budget. This is how much I have to spend, and this is that's it. That's it, right? And I had to grow to that. I had to grow to that because for years I was running up all kind of credit cards, trying to because I want to make people happy. Um, but people who love you will be happy, with whatever you have. Um, and I also have to be that way, have to be understanding of that with those who love me, right? When they say, I don't, I only have enough for this. Um, or this year I don't have enough for really anything. And so, hey, let's, go have a cup of coffee. Or let's just, you know, have just sit down and, watch a movie on one of the, 800 streaming services that we have. Just things like that. Or just let's play a game, let's play a board game. Let's just get together with some friends and doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just coming together and, really hearing each other's hearts, really being present, really being in the moment with and for each other. And I think that our mental health can be much greater when we're just honest. This time of year, again, that if we don't have it, we don't have it. Um, and then we have to build our own selves up to say, just because I don't have it doesn't make me less than. It just means that this year I don't have it, right? It just, or I don't have it to, maybe lavish on get lavish gifts. Um, and mostly, anyway, in a lot of families, I know in my family, the focus is on the kids, and now our kids are adults. Now the focus is heavily on the grandkids. Like, we gonna make sure they have what they need. Um, you know, and we're gonna get together and laugh, and the kids are gonna make my husband put on put on Run DMC. You know, it's Christmas time and Hollis Queen, Mama's cooking chicken and collard greens and make him pop lock. That they enjoy that, more than the gifts. Like that is a lasting memory. And so now he has to do that every year. Now we have grandchildren. He's got a pop lock for the grandkids, right? And they will remember that over and above any gift any that we could possibly give because it's presence. It's just having fun, it's being there, it's being in the moment, it's listening, it's hearing what a person is saying, it's seeing in their body language that when something is off or not quite right and addressing it and acknowledging that you see it, that you see them, that you hear them. That is what it means to have presence over presence. So I hope that this Mind the Mental Monday has been helpful. I hope that if you were one who was thinking about running up your credit cards to get things for people, because what's going to happen after the holidays? Like on the day, it might be exciting, because you see people open up gifts and they're all, if they like it, they're all happy, and that makes you happy in the moment. But then that bill comes in January, and the creditors aren't they they don't care about, you had a nice holiday. Oh, let's just give them a break, give them a reprieve because they because they enjoyed the holiday. They want their money. And now you got to figure out, okay, now how am I going to pay this bill? And I can barely pay the other bills. So let's make the main thing this holiday season. It is about presence over presence. It is about being there. It is about being present. It is about acknowledging one another, acknowledging that you see each other, acknowledging that you hear each other. And that's all it really needs to be, because the greatest gift has already been given. And that's the gift of Jesus Christ, giving his life for us on the cross. That's the greatest gift ever. There's nobody on this earth that can outgive that gift. It just doesn't, there's not a greater gift. We already got it. And guess what? We can't give it to anybody else. Like, Do you hear what I'm saying? There's no amount of money we can spend on a gift that's going to outgive that. So free yourself, free your mind, and let yourself enjoy the holiday for what it really stands for, what it really means, and yeah, presence over presence. All right. Well, that's all I got tonight. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope it was freeing for someone. And um, we will be back next Monday, same time. And at some point, let me see, what is next Monday? Um, Yeah, we'll be back next Monday, and then over the holidays, we won't be doing Mind the Mental Monday live because I'm going to be present. I'll have 2 weeks off of work, and then those 2 weeks, I'm going to be present with myself and with my family. And I hope that you will be too. Last thing I want to do is to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for all the congratulations, for my receiving the Trailblazer and Unsung Shero Award with the Black Women in Ministry this past Friday at a gala in Washington, D.C. Uh, I am not one who celebrates myself. And yeah, this time I decided to celebrate, and I'm just eternally grateful for all the opportunities that I have had and have to minister in many different capacities. I'm grateful to God for this call on my life, and I'm grateful that He allows me to touch people in whatever way that He allows me to touch them, and He allows them to touch me back. I'm grateful for that. I am also grateful that our church had its 10th pastoral and church anniversary this past weekend. We had a banquet on Saturday. So it was a really busy weekend. I didn't get to post about it until today because we got back from DC at like 2 a.m. on Saturday, and then we were up for the getting ready for our church banquet, which was an early one because we got to get ready for church the next day, so we can't be out all night on Saturday night. So we did the right thing and did ours in the afternoon. Um, but it was great. Thank everyone for who all those of you who were able to attend our banquet. Thank you so much for the outpouring of support. Thank you for all the congratulations. And I'm just really grateful. My heart is warm and I love you all. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for catching the repeat or the replay on either Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you catch it. Thank you for participating in Mind the Mental Mondays. Don't forget, engage. I want to see some comments. I want to hear from you. I want you to please subscribe to my YouTube page. Do it now if you haven't already. Benita Weathers 329 on YouTube. All right. All right. God bless. I'll see you next Monday, same time. Bye.